Hello, Jerry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Those
Oh,
wonderful
wow.
tones. Yes,
Fantastic.
I can also see you. I don't really want to see you. I'd rather see the action from New Orleans. No offense. How are you doing, David?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It's absolutely beautiful weather in Bangkok. Very cold, about 24 degrees.
Oh, right. Poor you.
How are things in England?
Things are excellent. I'm really looking forward to doing this commentary on this tournament. It looks quite exciting.
Okay, excellent. Well, we've got Evans Clinchy on 8-0, as I'm sure you know, and Evans will be starting this game, and we can see his rack there underneath his name, Cehooka. And so, what do you think, David? What would be a good play here? He's lining up Chook.
Well, Chuck looks pretty good because the K will be doubled, so I suspect that will maximize score. Rack leave of two vowels slightly vulnerable to having a vowel heavy rack next go, but the A and the E are the best of the five vowels to have. So I think that's
Right.
probably the right play.
Chook means chicken. It's not a verb, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It would certainly take an S, but I don't know about any other hooks or
Mm.
extensions.
It's what they call in Australia. So a
Right.
fairly good start there. And Chris Lipe has got the first blank. Is there a bingo there, David?
Well, I don't know, but I imagine Chris is going to be looking for one because it looks pretty close to a bingo. The W is problematic and the duplicate A, but I think he'll spend a little while looking for one.
Mm.
And there's quite a
Mm.
few floaters to consider.
Yeah,
Have you seen one?
not yet. I'm just looking at hand and then other things.
Yeah, he's got down through DOWN as a prefix or suffix, but with double
Mm.
AT, that's not particularly promising. So Evans got off to a fantastic start yesterday, 8-0.
Oh yeah. Well, that's that is a fantastic start. I remember getting off to an 8-0 start in the seniors championship when I was playing with you a couple of years ago, and before the wheels came off, David.
Ah, yeah, well, that was a very long tournament, so difficult to keep it up. So whatever Chris plays, Evans looks like he's in a pretty good position to come in with a
Yeah,
bingo.
yeah, yeah.
This is quite a strong Collins field. It's pretty impressive.
Yes, yes, it certainly is. I mean, when I noticed that yesterday, Austin Shin from the UK just managed 4-4, and he's been winning absolutely everything so far. So that's an idea of the strength of the field.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a 30 game tournament, so there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Chris is spending a while trying to find a bingo. But I think if he can't find one, it's a fairly easy rack to sort out because he would just need to play off the W and the A and possibly the D to leave a very strong rack leave.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does.
He could play door or wad underneath Chuck.
Would he play Orn under the H, AWN?
Yeah, possibly.
Plays door, and then he's got the N hook, of course, and the T hook. So pretty much guarantees a bingo on the next turn unless he draws abysmally.
Yeah, in terms of rack leave, that's pretty strong, and in terms of the hook potential.
Okay, so we're going to see Camisole, and that goes down pretty quickly.
Wow, it's a good
And
spot. It's a tricky one to see.
that's a nice one, isn't it? And Evan, once again, that he means business in this tournament.
Indeed. Now Chris hasn't drawn fantastically, picking up a U and duplicate tiles, but surely there's a bingo there. He's got
Yeah,
Uinteite in the bottom row.
yeah, and that obviously hits the triple as well there. So I'm sure he's seen that straight away.
So there's
Um,
richer pickings in the double row
Yeah.
through the eye of camisole.
Yeah. Is there anything there?
Well, I can see the quackle feed on the to the left of the board, and I was just wondering if Equitant played there, but it doesn't. Equitant plays elsewhere, so I don't know. Maybe there isn't something through that eye. But there's a ton of bingos available here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just going to be looking for the one that he likes the best. So how come you're not moving on your video, Jerry? I can just see your static face staring at me.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm just on audio. That's just my picture.
Oh right, okay.
That I use. I'm not doing any. I'm not doing any audio. Not in my state. Not late at night in Bangkok, David. I don't want to scare the viewers.
Do we know who the favourite is to win this the Collins division?
Well, you'd have to say Dave Wiegand, I think, because he's the number 1 seed, and although Evans Clinchy is, you'd say, the number 2 seed based on rating. I commentated on a couple of games that the first 2 games that Dave played yesterday, and actually he was gifted several things as well by opponents who were a bit nervous in facing him, but he finished 6-2 yesterday, so he's very close too.
Yeah. And he's playing Scott Jackson at this moment. But I don't know much about Scott, but he finished overnight in second position, so he obviously had a pretty good day.
Are you sure about it being a 30-game tournament? I thought it was 3 days.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm really not sure. I was quite surprised to hear you say that. I was thinking more in terms of about, I don't know, 24 or something like that, because they played 8 on the first day, and I think it's 3 days.
Okay, then that sounds like I'm probably made a mistake in terms of what I looked at.
I think an 8-0 lead was quite good in a tournament of around about 24 games. If it's 30, I agree with you. It's absolutely it's really not very much at all. So he's decided on Tate, and
Evans looks ready to pounce.
And there he
is. Wow, fantastic, Scott.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
That is so good.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? It's
such a tricky one to see.
I know. It's typical of Scrabble, isn't it? You've got to. I know that word, but can you actually see it? You've got to see form first, haven't you, and then make it. But the M is about the last one that you'd actually look at.
Yeah, well, you when you've got the S, you're thinking of it in last place, and the O and the U, you're thinking maybe an OUS word. But Ursiform is quite a difficult word to formulate in your mind, even when you know it.
Is that something to do? Ursi, or is that something
to do with bears, I imagine?
Yeah, that's what I say. Okay, so that was another tremendous play. We've seen 3 bingos in a row, and
that's going to end now.
We're now looking at Chris Lipe, who's got lots of clunky tiles, but he's got the X.
Yeah, it's a shame. Through an eye, he would have mix down, but the eyes aren't quite in the right spot for that. But it is a tricky route, because even if he can score with the X, he's likely to be leaving a very clunky, consonant-heavy rack leave.
Would you play hound here, or hound, or mound, or wound?
Well, yeah, I think quite possibly, yeah, because I think it's quite important to try and get the vowel consonant balance improved, and a play of wound would work quite nicely because it would leave you with 3 consonants, including the X for score, and there's plenty of vowels on the board, and it would be denying your opponent the first column.
Yes.
And I think the best you can do in the first column with the X would be probably Daux, but that's leaving you with 4 consonants rather than 3, which is nothing like as good.
Yeah. And with such an open board here and many possibilities for the X, he might as well bide his time and get a score on the next turn for the X, because he's probably not going to be bingoing in the next couple of turns.
Correct, and the blank of Uintaiite is an I, and the X could go on top of that. So if he retains the X and draws an A or an E, he's got a 50-point play if that stays available.
Right, that's very true. There's also other X spots as well, just in case.
Yeah, there's the O of Camisole, there's the first I of Uintaiite. So I think keeping hold of the X and turning over a lot of the other tiles is a good move. So I think your suggestion of Hound or Wound is, well, it's certainly the best that I've seen.
Probably go for Wound because, or Wound. Wound or Wound, either one will do. Just because I don't like the W's. Landing up DHOW, where would he put that?
Above Chuk, possibly.
Weird. He's played Dow at the top there. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, I think Wound would have been a better play. Wow, another bingo coming down.
Groutier.
That puts Evans into a very strong lead.
Very strong. Yeah. In fact, he's 138 ahead, and that is for Chris Lipe. Is his name pronounced Lipe? It is Lipe, isn't it?
I think so. Yes, Lipe.
It's just that I'm in Thailand, and there's an island, a beautiful tropical island in the south of Thailand, and in English it's spelled Lipe. Do you know how they pronounce it?
No, go on.
Lipe.
Lipe.
Lipe. I don't think he's a Lipe. Anyway, he's got that big score with the X, and he's going to need a few big touch in this game. So he's taken it, and he's left himself with 5 consonants. But I think he had to do that, didn't he?
Well, I think so. Yes, and I think he needs to hope that he draws well, and I don't think he has drawn well.
At least he's got 1 consonant, and he's still got the S. So it's early days yet in this game, and now we've seen Vogie, which is another very powerful play there.
And well spotted.
Yeah, very well spotted. Vogie is another big score, almost bingo-like score, and that's really piling on the pressure for Chris.
Yeah, there's still 46 tiles unseen, but Chris is so far behind that it's going to be a real struggle for him to get back into a challenging position.
Was quality player Chris Lipe. He featured in the final of the World Championship, didn't he, David? In was that 2014 against?
When Craig won.
Went against Craig Beavers of the UK.
Yeah, I was there watching it. Very exciting game.
Yes, indeed, I was there. I was there too.
Well, I'm seeing a clock which is ticking down, showing 12 minutes for one person and 22 minutes for the other. I don't know if that's the game clock for this particular game.
Yes, it is. Evans has been playing very quickly. He's obviously only used 2 minutes. He's boxed us a couple of times. I'm not seeing anything else at the moment.
No. I can't see the game screen. I can just see the clock and Jerry.
I can see David and the clock.
Okay, and I can't see the Twitch comments either, because the whole screen is just, I'm full screen just looking at the board. So I can't respond to any Twitch comments because I can't see what they are. Okay, I might try that in the second game because I'm not in Twitch at the moment. But I can't see the board at the moment. Okay, I can now.
Okay, so I think we're at Chris Lipe's turn after Evans Clinchy played Vogie, and Chris Lipe's got MingYds.
Yeah, pretty difficult rack to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, a play of Jim would leave quite a nice rack leave.
Yeah.
The trouble Chris has got is that he really needs to start scoring well. He's 140 points behind.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see that he's got anything particularly great with this rack.
He's just gonna gamble on MY and hopefully draw a couple of vowels to pluralize DAOs or something like that on the next turn. And
yeah, I mean, Chris does still have chances in this game because there are several bingo lanes. There's the pluralization of DAOs you mentioned. There's also the floaters in Camisole, and there's the floating G in Groutier. So were he to draw well, then there is a way back for him.
Yeah, which he hasn't. Is Hodding okay, David?
Hodding, yeah, it is.
It is. I think that may be something he'll consider in the next turn. Meanwhile, we've got Bleep plus AE and Evans' turn, and actually he looks like he's going to take a little bit of time on this move. Should be right.
I was astonished to see that he played all his prior moves in just 2 minutes. That must be quite demoralising to be on the receiving end of.
That's right. That's right. I mean, to be fair, I don't think he had a great deal to think about, did he? As long as you see the words quickly, a great deal to think about, maybe. Player, David, or a steady as you go player?
Am I?
Yeah.
I think I'm fairly steady. I don't play super fast, but I don't like to be in time trouble at the end either.
Yeah.
But some moves just do take more of your time than others, and I think this is a classic rack which Evans has got, which it's hard to get the right combination of score and rack leave.
Yeah.
And he may also be thinking about closing the board down a bit. He's got all the floaters in Camisole. He may be able to play parallel to that with the O or the B next to the B or the P next to the O.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's not. He won't want to keep 3 E's going into the next.
No.
The next move.
He could play Bray. B. I'm just putting a couple of ideas out there.
What, through the R of Groutier?
No, through the R of Ursiform, the second R of Ursiform.
Oh, right. Okay, that's quite nice because it takes out the S and interferes with the O.
And it's 20 points, leaving LEEP.
Now, I think we're seeing the quackle choices on the left. So, Pokeball at L6. Where's that? Oh, that's through Ochre.
Okay,
wow.
That's cute.
I'm not sure I knew that word.
No, I wouldn't have risked it. I definitely wouldn't have risked that. Asleep is a possibility. Just to get loads of tiles away, and that would leave B, E, and sort of like have a good chance of getting one of the S's. We can see that one of the S's is on Chris Lipe's rack. Obviously, Evans doesn't know that. So what are we going to see here? We're going to see doable and adore. All right.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Doable takes out all the floaters except for the L there. So it's starting to become a little bit harder to play. But only a little.
Now there's still one blank to come. And one S. But Chris has got a tricky rack. He would have an 8-letter bingo with an A, for example, but there's very few floaters now on the board. There's a good 7-letter lane in the penultimate column for a bingo ending in S, but Chris doesn't have a 7-letter bingo. And doable doesn't take anything after it, so the O of camisole is not available for a bingo. And Evans is not in any trouble at all with his rack. He doesn't need to bingo to win this game. And he's in a strong position to just keep on scoring and to outrun Chris, whatever Chris manages to do.
Absolutely. It would be very unlikely to come back in this game.
So it's a pretty strong start from Evans, having won all of his games yesterday. This is a fantastic start for day 2 of the tournament for him. So
the David Eldar and Austin Shin have started a site on Facebook, David, in which David, as the other David Eldar, the world champion, has suggested that if a player is 150 points behind, you might as well quit and get on with another game. What do you think about that?
I think that's really good, and I think that works in some formats. I don't think it would work in a situation like we're in here, because the rounds are pretty much starting at the same time. So it would just mean you had a long period of doing nothing. If you were able to start your next game straight away, and I don't know what sort of format would enable you to do that, then I think the game being over when you're 150 up could have some merit. And certainly if you're playing a long series of games against just one person, that would be another scenario in which 150 gives you the game would be worth considering. But this game, when you're looking at Evans having a lead of about 140, 150, it pretty much looks like a dead game now in terms of the results. There seems to be very little that Chris can do to get back in the game, and I suspect his winning chances are probably less than 1%.
Yeah. End the word SLEND.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tight board. You've got the column N for a 7-letter S bingo, but otherwise it's, in terms of playing non-bingo plays or in terms of opening the board up, there's nothing that can be done which scores as well as achieving that.
So he's gonna play Nigel-like and open up a 9-timer when behind.
Well, I think that's quite a good move, because I think it's not going to be possible to close down the Dow S hook lane and the 9-timer opportunity with one play, unless you start 2 to the right of Dow.
Yeah. Wanted an L there, didn't he? And then he would have had depilate, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
If he put the L on there, that would have hurt. So
yeah, Evans looks
draw.
close to a bingo with this rack, but I can't see one.
Yeah. So can he block the S hook on Dow and get down to the D?
Well, he'd need a six-letter play. Any six-letter play ending in D would achieve it. Possibly peated, Peated.
Is that
I'm not
a
sure
word?
if I'm not sure, but I think it is.
I think it's not. But
Do you have any means of checking?
I'm not checking here at the moment. I just got this memory of playing it once and getting egg on my face.
Okay.
I may be wrong. But that's what he wants. Sorry.
I think that would be ideal, yes, to have a six-letter play ending in D. But failing that, I think taking out the D is probably the priority, because I think Chris probably needs a triple in order to win this game, and a play in column N from Chris ending in S is going to provide an easy scoring opportunity with the triple word squares in row O.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure what Evans is contemplating with the way he's got his rack set up.
Piled?
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Right, okay, because that would be another way of taking out the triple possibility, playing in the penultimate column through the L of N guilds, and by getting the P on the triple letter square, he can score well. 28 points for piled. Now, does Chris have a bingo?
Is that in sense?
Yes, it is, and that plays.
Yeah.
So that would actually could be prevented by just a 5-letter play ending in the D.
Yeah.
So pated would work, I think.
Uh-huh. He's going
Great. We should be seeing a bingo from Chris. So
yeah. Give him a small.
now he's got incense in the final column, not pluralizing Dow, but putting the E next to the P.
That's right. Obviously scores more, and Given the fact that he's so far behind. Oh, hang on, look, this is very, very quick here. And
oh wow, another bingo I didn't spot. Wow, very impressive.
Antelope. Oh well, that's great. So,
do you know the funky front hook for antelope?
I certainly do. I played it in the World Championship once. Surprised my opponent no end.
Yeah, I think they've all been played. They're all the G's.
Yeah.
But there is a blank.
That would be a nice way. Nice way to bingo, putting the hook on antelope.
So Evans still, despite Chris's bingo, Evans has still got a lead of 125 points and just 17 tiles in the bag.
And he's got a massive score for QI, which is not going to be blocked, and that's down in the corner. So no matter what happens here, there's absolutely no way back. I feel absolutely sure about that. Although Chris will be battling to the end to preserve what's left of his spread.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I mean, you always have an interest in minimising your spread, because at the end of a tournament, spread can determine whether you're in the prizes or not, or indeed whether you win the tournament or not. So, although it's a dead game in terms of the outcome of this particular game, there is still every reason for Chris to lose by the smallest possible amount.
That's right. I like Luz at the bottom. I'm not sure if I've seen anything else. LUZ, and just keeping. Keeping TTIS
plus a blank.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously possibilities come down.
Yeah, and that's good also turning over so few tiles, because the more turns you have, the more opportunities you have to reduce the losing spread.
Indeed.
But Luz is not going to stop Evans from playing QI above IN of UNTI for about 40 points.
Exactly. So he plays Luz, and that will be followed by QI. And yes, they're not wasting any time on what Chris picks up to go with his SITT blank. And he picks up.
Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. J and I, he must have felt that he was in a fairly strong position to have a bingo on his rack, but I don't think he has. And not too many J spots on the board. He can just stick his J above IN of it formed by QI, but it's not going to score very much.
No.
And the rack leave isn't great.
Yeah. But he might get one by doing that. He might get one more shot at balancing if he the next turn. But strongly blocked anyway.
So where are the bingo lanes on this board that Evans might be minded to block? I guess the A of Antelope and the N of Incense. But not much else doing in terms of bingo lanes. Quite a clunky rack in some ways for Evans. He's got a good vowel consonant balance, but the F and the V have very poor synergy. And the B with them is also a bad tile in terms of synergy, but it's not going to affect the result of this game. Evans is 119 points ahead with just 12 tiles in the bag. And not many opportunities on this board. I think we may have lost Jerry for the moment. Hopefully he'll be back shortly. Evans taking a while with this move. I guess Fab is available in column N, making BI.
Fab making BI, yeah, okay.
But that feels pretty lame, but it's a troublesome rack.
Yeah.
Just wondering if he's got anything down to the W of Dow. Okay, well, there goes Fab. And it's quite a nice rack leave over. So does Chris have a bingo? He's got the blank. He does have duplicate tiles, but they're very bingo-y tiles. And the A of Antelope is available for bingos beginning A, and also that row is available for bingos with G and A in them. And column G is available for a 7-letter bingo overlapping A, N, T.
Yeah.
Chris has got Titians on his rack.
Yeah, he just plays if. I think, well, it's the absence of have one.
That doesn't feel like a great play because it's so easy to block.
Exactly. It would be great if he stopped with his jar on there.
So Vino can be played through that. However, that does leave the bingo lane in the 5th row available for Chris.
True.
but I can't see anything beginning with the A.
Okay.
So is there a way for Evans to block row 1 and row 5? It doesn't look like it. So a bingo beginning with the A of Antelope and ending in S would play, but is there one? That is a really bingo-y rack for Chris.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And what about column G overlapping A and T?
Right, yeah.
And still the GA combination available for a 9-letter play.
Yeah. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be a lovely way to go out. G-R-A-T.
Yeah, it looks close, but I haven't seen anything yet. But certainly the R looks like it can nicely slot in between the G and the A.
Tempting to spend a bit of time here. He'd used quite a bit of time early on, hadn't he? But Incense came down pretty quick. And Guild took him a while. He's probably reasonably low on time.
Yeah, and I think Evans playing so quickly is likely to have diminished Chris's time.
Absolutely.
Well, there could be a bingo in the second row through IF. Okay, so what's Arietta's very nice, and
oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, very good.
Well, not our finest hour, failing to spot that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, we failed to spot everything really, but they played too fast. That's our excuse.
Well, that's why we're commentators and they're players.
Absolutely. But that was pretty good from Chris Lipe, because he's managed to limit the damage there to under 100. So fair play to him. Yeah, good play.
Yeah, just about 75-point losing margin, and for most of the game he was about 140 points behind. So that was a job well done at the end there by Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. So probably think that Evans could have done something a little bit better there. I would have been tempted not to play with Vino myself. I think I would have come down with from IF with an R on there or something, and I don't know. I probably would have given away a bingo anyway, but Arietta's was a very nice finish. So we've seen Evans Clinchy go to 9-0, David. That's a pretty favorable start.
It's a fantastic start, but can he keep it up?
Well, in a three-day tournament, this could be a lead that he might not relinquish. Were you following the news from Bangalore, David?
Yes, I was, and fantastic performance from Nigel after a ropey start, but he pulls it out of the bag as he always seems to do. So it was a tremendous result for him, and to finish so far ahead of the rest of the field. And for anybody who doesn't know the results, I think that was a 34 tournament game.
It was.
And I think Nigel finished 5 games ahead of the second place person, and it was a strong field.
A very strong field, and he only eventually lost the last game to Hubert, so he had it wrapped up by lunch on the fourth day. Yet another win for Nigel in Bangalore. I must say I've been to Bangalore about 6 or 7 times myself, and the number of times I've heard that the announcer at the end of the tournament saying, "And once again, the great man himself." I didn't go this year, and it's sort of like, oh great, I don't need to hear that again.
Well, it's been a fantastic start to the year for Nigel, because he won the tournaments in the UK, which he attended, the UK Open, before heading down to Bangalore, and that's after a disappointing time last year in both the World Championships in Nottingham, where he lost to David Eldar in the quarterfinals, and also the Westpac tournament in Nairobi, where he just needed to win one of the last 3 games to get into the final, and lost all of them. So Nigel, like everyone else, can lose games, but that was 2 big tournaments last year where he slipped up before, at the final hurdles. But it's a great start to the year for him this year. Do you know if he's going to Cape Town? Because I think that's the next big tournament on the international calendar. If I would what? Okay, we're going to go for a break now, and we'll catch up with you in the next game.